Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Brian Falconer in the house.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Co-host extraordinaire.
I had to put it in
you
there.
know I'm going to, man. That's you,
Thought
bro.
I was getting away with that.
Negative ghostwriter. Hey, so thank you guys for taking the time to join us. This is the time that you want to, like, have a smoke ready to light up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because, you know, just hang out with us and smoke a cigar.
Come on, bro.
I always forget to tell people that because I just think automatically that they do it. It's like, no, man, make sure you got a cigar. Let's light up. Let's enjoy this.
Yes, sir. Sit back, chill, listen to these two knuckleheads talk.
Yeah. How's your week been, man?
Man, it's been great. Work business with the Bandera, Texas, man.
How was that?
It was hot.
Let
That's all I got to say. It was so hot.
Was it muggy?
No. It was so hot the peacock didn't even have feathers no more. Serious.
Really?
The male peacock didn't have feathers anymore.
Wow.
He was walking around there like, man, it's hot.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is. It is.
So,
And we found out.
isn't Bandera like in southeast Texas?
Yeah, it's northwest of San Antonio.
I got a trivia question for you for Bandera, Texas.
Okay.
Do you know who I always want to say Lefty Frizzell, and that's not the name. Freddie Fender. Do you know who Freddie Fender is?
You played a song.
I played him for you.
Yeah.
He's from Bandera.
Okay. I can see that.
Wasted days and wasted
Because
nights.
that's what happens there.
Yeah. I'll be there before the next teardrop falls.
Can I ask both of y'all to leave that to Freddie?
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Anyway, Freddie Fender's from there, and then a new artist that I'm a huge fan of,
Who?
Charlie Crockett.
Never heard
Now,
of
you're probably not a Charlie Crockett fan
I don't
because
even know. Is it Davy's great grandson?
it actually is one of his descendants.
Wow.
It really is. But that's not why I like him. He is like a young 20-something-year-old, like, 22 to 26.
Uh-huh.
And when you go watch his concerts, it's like stepping back to like 1950.
He came from Bandera.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why.
But for
That's
a
why.
young kid, it's like you don't find a lot of young people digging old school music because they never heard it.
Yeah.
And once they hear it, they're like, whoa, that's different. That's good.
Unless you're from Bandera, Midland, Odessa, or Lubbock. You from one of those four places, you like old country.
Hey, well, do you know the legendary rock and roll guy from Lubbock? Buddy Holly.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going to say something stupid. I'm like, come on, Rob. But Buddy Holly was from Lubbock?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Lubbock got to step up now.
Yeah. I mean, and
Gotta
dude,
step-
there's actually
especially in my-
statues of him in this town.
That's too much, man.
No.
Y'all going too far.
Dude, do you realize, let me tell you something that you may not know. Buddy Holly was instrumental and inspired the baddest ass rock and roll class from the 60s into the 70s that you didn't know.
But who was...
Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin,
I love Led Zeppelin.
Jimi Hendrix. These guys took and molded what Buddy Holly.
With Bobby.
Pour me another one. No. Buddy Holly. And like when I listen to the music, it sounds like early rock and roll, like from the 50s.
Sure.
But what they hear from it and take away from it, twist it into what rock and roll became in the late 60s, early 70s.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, he's badass.
I got you. I like Buddy Holly. I did. I just didn't know
Peggy Sue.
I just didn't know he was from Lubbock.
Yep. And the funny thing is I worked at a photography studio, and this studio had a basement downtown Lubbock that was a city block big basement.
Got you.
And in there was file cabinets
the
as
Buddy
far as you could see, and in every one of those file cabinets was negatives to pictures.
That they had taken over decades.
Yes.
Yeah, got you.
And we found Buddy Holly's yearbook picture in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Those are the embarrassing things.
And then, wait. The owner of the shop sold the negative of Buddy Holly's graduate picture.
How much did you get for it?
$300.
He got robbed.
I was like,
he got robbed.
I mean, I came into work and I was like, hey, where's the Buddy Holly negative? Because we kept it in like a display. And he's like, oh, somebody bought it. And I was like, I didn't know it was for sale.
And then you found out how
I
much
was
it
like,
cost.
how much did you sell it for? And he's like, $300. And I was like, dude,
I'd have gave you $350.
I would have given you $301.
Because I wanted to make sure it was mine.
And I'm a fan of The Price is Right.
Yeah, for real. For real.
So let's celebrate what we're smoking.
Oh, tonight I'm smoking a gift from my fellow co-host, the La Aura Ecuador.
And that is the Perfecto.
Yes, it was.
Something, blah, blah, blah. The Grand Perfecto.
Grand Perfecto.
Yeah, and I'm a fan. I like smoking those cigars. I don't smoke a lot of them, and I'm not talking about that particular cigar. I'm talking about the Vitola. I like that just because we grew up on cartoons, and all the cartoon characters smoke cigars in that shape.
Yep.
And
everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. Didn't matter who it was. Yosemite Sam shooting his 6-shooters with one in his mouth. Man, dude.
It always got fat in the middle and then back on the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
cool,
I'm smoking a gift. I was down at the Leaf today. Saw a lot of good people.
I need to talk to you, Jay.
And so, anyway, I don't even know what this is called. So, you guys forgive me. I'll find out, or Bryant will find out. But I do know, no, I know that part. It is a special edition, limited edition Black Irish. But it's like the
Vitola?
The Vitola is like nothing I know. You know what I mean? It's like
it didn't go back to the Grand Perfecto. It started small and got fat and stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, this Vitola is very interesting to say the least. Okay, so anyway, man, I tell you what, I've been smoking on this for like 30 minutes.
Yes,
and dude, I'm only like an inch in.
Quality.
I don't even know if I'm an inch in. Quality. That's what she said. Anyway, let's talk about what we're drinking.
I'm done with you.
I'm drinking, and now I switched over. I'm actually drinking the Buffalo Trace.
I saw
because our cameraman tonight, he took the bottle.
He
and
took
never
the
got
bottle.
Back over
we
here.
We opened it. 2 shots were poured between me and Rob, and it sits with the cameraman now.
And here, let me tell you something. When I go to the liquor store to buy bourbon,
yes, sir,
I like to be left alone. I don't want anybody who works for the store to help me.
I got it. What it's called?
What?
Was the pyramid? The pyramid.
Okay, well, I thought the pyramid. The
pyramid.
Well, the pyramid is also like what the Partagas Black comes in, but it's not near as pronounced as that.
Nowhere near.
But anyway, I hate going to the liquor store and having people recommend shit.
Used car sales.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I'm coming in there. I'm going to buy something. Let me buy what I want to buy. So I did buy what I wanted to buy, but then I bought a bonus bottle because he recommended it, and it was from our hometown, and everybody's been raving about it. Yeah, whatever. Because I brought it home. We poured 3 glasses.
And that was it.
Larry drank his, you drank yours. I poured mine outside.
I couldn't get over there to the door.
Because you wanted to.
Yes.
Because it was not good.
No.
It's 13 arrows, and let me tell you something, Abilene Distillery, you better do better. I mean, that's not going to cut it.
I want to see what 14 arrows is going to bring, because 13 is...
you know what? I would skip 14 and go ahead and let's do like 80 arrows.
He'll do it for real.
That's about how far off.
It's real far off. That was nothing else.
Or I mean, if you either need more arrows or let's just move the target way closer.
Way closer. 1 arrow. Get it right the first time.
I mean,
it was to that point that Larry's like, you need to add Coke to this. He's not a mixed drinker. He's like, you need to add Coke to this. Like, wow.
And you know what? Maybe there's a place for bourbons that people like to drink that are mixed. I don't know, because I don't drink mixed drinks.
Nope.
So if a bourbon's not a good sipping bourbon, it's not good to me.
No, sir.
That's just the way I feel about it. Hey, they come out with something new. I'll find out somebody that I trust that's had it before I give them a shot, but I'll give them a shot.
Notice he said trust. I'm not just going to listen to
To
the car
guy,
salesman
to
again.
the guy at the liquor store.
I'm going to listen to him again.
Yeah, watering hole number 2. Nice
like
guy,
that.
but dude, come on, man. Just let me wander around.
And let me pick
Because
what
let
I
me
wanna
trust
pick.
you. I'm there to buy something.
I'm going to buy it.
Do people go in a liquor store
I've
and
seen
walk
it. I've
around
seen
and
it.
leave
And
without
I've
buying
seen
shit?
it. I've seen it. And it's weird to me. What are you here
Well,
for?
I mean, now I've done that before too, but it's because they didn't have anything.
But, okay, I can't say that that's not the reason that they walked out.
Right.
But to me, it still looked weird to me. I'm like, dude, I mean, it's a lot of good stuff in here, and you just looked around and walked out.
But also, people could be like, I mean, think about this. If I got 25 bottles at home, I like to go by shops and see if there's something I don't have.
And you wind up with 13 arrows.
Thank you.
So buy what you know, and only buy from people you trust.
Right. So anyway, that's enough rant about
I'm sorry.
bourbon.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not.
Anyway, let me tell you, tonight we're going to finish up this series that I think has been fun.
Yeah.
The Top 100 Must Try Cigars.
Most definitely.
I'm going to try to put the list in the show notes of all the cigars that we've mentioned. I may miss one or two, but I mean, let's not set our expectations too high.
So please don't count when you come up to 97.
No. Yeah.
Send messages.
I'm gonna stagger the list so it'll be very difficult to count.
Like, Rob, you short.
That's what she said.
See what he said? Dude, you can't just even crack a door around. You
I
hear
know
this,
it.
Larry? But you know.
Hey, so anyway, let's talk about our sponsors right quick.
Most definitely.
You guys know who they are. You know we love them. Their quality and, you know.
Hold up. Wait a minute. You said it was going to be quick. I thought that's what he was going to do. You know who they are. They're good. Now, next segment, I was like, no, he is not going down that route. I was like, I can hear Dan now. Wait a minute.
I was going to name them all.
Let me shut up now. I digress.
No, in fact, I was going to start with McAuliffe because
okay.
they have a new cigar.
Which one?
Starting today,
Uh-oh.
Monday the 15th.
Yes, sir.
So,
No, 16.
all right, the 16th, it's Monday. They have released information today that they now will be having or providing or selling or making available the McAuliffe A Gordo 6x60.
Whoa.
Right? In fact, look up above in the video here and you will see a picture of the Gordos.
Look at that.
They
Would you look at
are
that?
beautiful, and you know what? I used to say that I would only smoke 46 to like 52, but the journey never ends.
No, it's about going out.
So you can't ever, anytime I say never, I break that
Yeah, he
like
lies.
soon. Yeah, it's
He
like,
lies.
nah, I'm not doing that.
He lies.
So I'm excited. Make sure that you get with your brick and mortar because I promise you,
That's where it's
when
gonna
they
be.
come in, they're going to go fast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I think that, I mean, as a consumer,
Okay.
I'm like, long overdue, Dan. Long overdue.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I'd love to see cigars come to market,
Oh, come on.
especially when they have the track record they do.
When you know it's the Jamaicans, you want to see that track meet.
Boom.
So when you know it's McAuliffe, come on, baby. Come on.
Hey, so our other sponsors is Viva la Vida Cigars. You guys know I love them. I've been on a kick with them.
Me forever.
Yeah.
Club 500.
Well, I mean, when
And
I
I
say
you to Jester.
kick, I mean, you know, like we're running like 14 million miles. I'm the anchor man. Not the anchor man.
Hello, San Diego.
Oh, you know what I watched the other night? Talladega Nights. Have you watched that?
Love that show.
I love that show too.
I'm on fire.
Hey,
I'm on fire.
I piss excellence. I'm the best there's ever been.
You the first or you last. love that show, man. But Viva la Vida provides a great
consistent cigar. I mean, you think about this, dude. Viva la Vida makes one cigar,
and it's great.
They have several Vitolas
of it, but
when you make perfection,
you dress it up.
You can change the way it looks, but underneath the dress.
Why did he go there, man?
I mean, rapper.
Oh my God. Dude.
You know what I mean.
We already banned in one place. What are you trying to do?
Bangkok.
Under the dress. No,
of
the rapper.
We got an email from the Bangkok government saying we're no longer allowed there.
No longer.
Surprise.
Oh, okay.
You know what I did? I brought out a map of the world and I'm like, all right, who's next?
Thailand.
Dude, we don't even want to talk about Thailand.
I know.
Holy crap. I feel alone. For those people.
Yes.
So anyway, where are we at?
We got
Viva la Vida. Great cigars. Check them out. If your shop doesn't have them, order them up. Then we have Case Elegance. Dude. My humidor, you know what? That's what I keep, Paul. You know what's in there? It only has one cigar. Not one cigar. One kind.
One kind?
Yeah.
Which
you know what's in there? Viva la Vidas. That's just my humidor right now for Viva la Vidas.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro.
It's like I open this every day, all day long, picking out cigars. And then when I'm like, dang, I want something really good, I'm like,
we look like John Travolta and Samuel when they opened that case. Is that what I think it is?
Exactly. It is Viva la Vida.
In a Case Elegance box.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, if you haven't got a Viva la Vida yet, let your store know you want them.
Yes.
And if you find yourself in need of anything humidor related,
quality,
man related,
quality,
leather bags,
quality,
watch cases,
quality.
So here's the thing. Look in the show notes. Click on the Case Elegance. Look and see what they have.
Yes, sir.
Put in the code Cigar Talk Coin, and they'll send you a medallion with our logo on one side and their logo on the other. And then our other one, the Leaf. I think I'm going to start working on this, and I'm going to ask you for help. I'm going to start petitioning with Jay to change the name of the Leaf.
You about to cause a mutiny, man.
Listen here.
All right.
The Great Leaf.
The Great Leaf. The Great Leaf.
I mean, we're not really changing anything except letting people know how badass it is.
Just as long as he doesn't add 2 more leaves to that stalk. But no, leave it at the leaf, man. That's what it's known as, and it personifies that name. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the first time I saw it, I knew it was 1 or 2 places. Then as soon as you open the door, I was like, yeah, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. Because you can smell the tobacco, the pipe tobacco first. And then when I walked in the humidor, I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. And then it was on 3rd Street. And that humidor was so packed in there, it was just like, it's more than what they don't have enough room for this. Right. And then we go to the Leaf 3.0, and we find out that you can have a humidor that looks like it's a mile long, and all that stock that was over there fills every shelf in there.
Right.
Every shelf in there.
Absolutely, man.
Everything you could possibly think of. If they don't have it, talk to Jay, and he'll find a way of getting it there for you. And that's what I love, man. He thinks about his consumers. He thinks about us 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%, man.
Yeah, always,
no
man.
matter. He listens. And that's in business, that's a great quality, especially today. You listen to your consumers.
That's the whole kit and caboodle. You know what I mean? All right. So anyway, if you're interested in our sponsors, they're all available down in the show notes. So, you know, we appreciate you listening to the show. And if you want to support the show, support our sponsors.
Yes. And also support us because we thank our Patreons.
Oh, well, we usually say thank you to them at the end because we also put up at the every end of the show, we have all their names on the last credit roll. And yeah, we have a great group of Patreons. I got on the next show, I'll share some news about some Patreon activity.
I saw y'all was talking about me while I was in Bandera too.
What'd we say?
I can't say it on here.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, and they know I can't
Oh,
answer
you know
back.
what's funny? You know what's
can't
funny?
answer back.
Hey, you know what's funny is that yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I thought the question was to me.
No, it was to me.
And then whenever people started ragging on you,
Yep.
or they started taking, well, actually they started taking up for me. Then Jack said, I ain't talking about Rob.
And I was like, my boss's boss was talking. I said, if he see me with my phone in my hand, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing I think you're missing.
It's fun.
It's fun. But how much would it have meant to the Patreons if you said, you know what? Fuck my boss and his boss and his boss.
No. First of all, the first word that went to PG-13 rating there.
Hey, sorry. I forgot.
Went right out the window.
And then you said,
this is when double R.
And then you said, I will not lose my job for y'all.
to come back on the things that I'm seeing going across the screen in front of me. I'm like, ooh, yes. Perfect timing. But it's all in jest, man.
Yeah,
that's what we
it's
do.
all
we
a
have
good time,
fun, man.
Yeah,
have fun.
It is. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, you would.
So anyway, well, hey, let's start out. We're gonna do a portion of the top 100 must tries.
Okay.
And then we have Lee Marsh.
Marsh.
Is it Marsh?
Yeah. Because when the first time you said you were going to interview the dude, I thought you said Lee Marvin. I was like, where you going to, the cemetery? He was like, no, his name, it's Marsh. I'm like, okay, I can deal with that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I wasn't going with you to the cemetery, bro. You was going to do that interview by yourself. Totally.
Wow.
Nope.
Yeah, I thought we were.
We are.
Yeah, it is Lee Marsh.
We are that good, but I'm not
I kept
going
wanting to say Lee Marshall, but yeah, Anyway, if you guys don't know, Lee Marshall is one of the. Thank you very much. Yeah,
he's killing this man's name.
Hey, Lubuckian.
For real, Lubuckian for real.
So, if you don't know, he's one of the founders.
I'm glad you just said he. Great pronoun.
He's one of the founders of Stolen Thrones.
Yes, sir.
And we got the a pleasure of smoking those because of our brother Sean O'Connor. And I can't wait to see that guy again.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of guys that can't wait to see it again.
You know who I saw on Messenger today?
Who?
And I was like, dude, where's he been? Brian Anderson from The Leaf.
I saw it. It was on Facebook. And it was on Messenger because he sent something on Facebook. He was smoking a stick.
Oh, I didn't see it.
He put that. I was like, man, where Brian been?
Well, I sent him a message today just because I saw he was online.
Uh-huh.
And I said, bro, where have you been? And he was like, I've been taking care of my parents and my brother. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, dude, I haven't seen you forever. I was just wondering how you're doing.
How you doing, man?
And I told him, I said, dude, when you get some free time, hit me up. Let's have a smoke, man.
Yeah, let me know when you have to leave, bro.
I was like, dude, because there's still people from COVID I haven't seen.
Man.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that you get back together with after the pandemic, but, there's a lot of people that you don't remember. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. And then it's us not being there as much as we used to be. You would see everybody. It's like we would always see people. But after the pandemic, we're not there as much as we used to be. So it's like, hey, I forgot about him.
Right.
And you're like, wow.
When I saw Brian, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. But you know who I really want to see? I've had a couple of conversations with him, but it has to be.
If I was to blurt out what I was thinking, it would be so inappropriate.
I know. That's why I'm glad. Well, you already blew the PG-13 rating out.
But this would like piss people off.
No, I'm glad you didn't blurt it. Yeah. But San Diego Jack, man.
Oh, I
miss
know,
my bro,
dude.
Man.
Yeah.
I miss my bro, man.
Yeah. And it's weird because he left right before COVID.
Yep, he got out of it right
so
before.
it was just like timing and then it shut down shortly after he left.
Yep.
But it almost is like the other people that you lost contact with COVID because it was the same time.
Yeah. I want to see Zanka back over sitting in the chair talking noise.
Right? Right.
He's sitting back over there just throwing jokes out like we didn't hear him. Bro, I heard you. I heard you. Just can't say anything because we kept the PG-13.
Shut up, fat boy.
See, that's where you would have gone with it. Nah, man. But it's time to just, reacquaint ourselves with, people, man.
Community.
Yeah, I was glad to see
the
Brian.
Community is so important.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is all about community.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And you see what I'm signing up for.
Oh.
That is the...
He got his Texas chapter sticker up
Well,
there.
I haven't joined yet.
But they sent you the sticker because you started.
I met with the Texas chapter chaplain or president. I don't know which one they call it. But anyway, him and Vic came up from San Angelo. Well, he's actually from Ozona, which is like 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Well, for him. For me, it's like 4. He drives faster.
Oh, just to say why.
Right. No. He's a lead foot.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, thanks for the stickers. I'm signing up. And you know what? I had always resisted on signing up with groups, but let me tell you who really got me interested. And that was
the hooligans.
The hooligans.
Yeah.
Because it's just fun. You know what I mean? What do you got in your pocket?
You made me think about something.
Okay.
When we went to the meeting, because this is our first meeting of all the managers since COVID, we were all given this patch here.
By who?
One of the managers.
That's hilarious, man.
And I was like, I need a couple more of these.
Yeah.
I was like, Operation Enduring Cluster. Ooh, I said, I love that. I love that. But it was just, like you said, that opportunity to come back together again. For over a year, we haven't had that opportunity, man.
And I want to tell you this. If you're one of those guys that everybody quit going to the shops that closed down because of COVID, but if you're that guy that got comfortable being without community, you need to revisit the community.
Yes. Please.
There was a reason you were there.
Yep.
And so once you go back, you remember. It's like, you know what? I got good friends.
Yep.
I got good people.
Yep.
And don't take them for granted.
Oh, no. Because that's who we are, a community. Like
right.
you said, this is about the community, man. That's
all
it's about.
All of it.
That's all it's about.
So anyway, let's jump into this portion of the top 100 must tries. And this portion of the list comes from one of our long-term and maybe the longest term Patreon that Cigar Talk has had. And that is Big Adam. I call him Big Boy, but Big Adam, he is one of a kind. And I mean, talk about a community guy. This guy does so much for the community. I mean, I know you have all different levels of cigar smokers. You have casual. You have some guys that just smoke, for celebration. But when you really dive into the community, this is one of the guys that you're going to know because he gives so much back to the community and he cares. And that's one of the reasons that we saved Big Adam's portion of the list to the last show. And so, I mean, Big Adam has been with us just about the entire time.
I can't remember a time he wasn't with us.
Yeah, I think that he has been with us because I talked to him.
Wait a minute, with beard and without beard.
You know what? That dude has the biggest, thickest beard. I mean, if you needed to make a rope,
tricard,
something. So anyway, all right. Well, we're gonna quit bragging on Adam because that dude.
Yeah.
We don't want him to get the big head. Although his head could be bigger to fit the beard.
He's getting
married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Bro. Congratulations.
And I want to say, Adam, forgive me, but I thought it was in October, but it possibly could be in September. I know it's close.
Real close. If it's September, it's real close.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, they've been together a long time.
Yeah.
I think they're really good together.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for him.
Make that move.
He's 29 years old.
He waited to 29 to get married.
Smart man.
Because you know who you are, where you are, and what you want now. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Well, you know, I waited. Me and my wife didn't get married till we're 26.
First time I got married, I was 22.
That was dumb.
Remember, notice I said first time. The second time I was in my 40s. I was like, okay, I'm better now. I understand life a little bit better. I'm not as crazy anymore. That wild Brian is gone. So.
Me too.
She said me too.
All right, so let's start out with the Tatuaje Series P. Never had it.
I was just going to say, I ain't heard of that.
I've said this before, I have not journeyed the Tatuaje line. I want to, because of what I have smoked has been fantastic. So that one's going on to the top of the list for me.
Okay.
Then we've got the Cavalier Genevieve Black Label. I don't know that cigar.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I have not smoked it, but I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't know that cigar.
I'm
gonna have to look it up because I want to smoke it. Now, here's one that we've seen on many of the lists, and let me tell you what: when you hear multiple guys giving a cigar, that tells you it's good.
Yeah.
And this one is the Viva la Vida Club 500. Great stick.
Chalk it up, baby.
I mean, that one, I would say that one's been named already 3 times.
Yeah, and people know me, so it would be 4
right.
The honorable mention.
Well, coming up after the interview, me and Brian are going to give our portion.
Yeah.
And then the next one that Big Adam has, the Alec Bradley Tempest Nicaraguan. Good smoke.
I haven't had that one.
Dude, are you serious?
Serious.
Wow. That's like not a very expensive stick, but it's got nice.
Do we have it at the lead?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I will
It's
find
the one that says Tempest, and it's kind of got that copperish bronze colored band.
Okay.
Maybe more copper.
Okay.
And then, and this is going to be the 3rd time this has made the list. The Stolen Throne, Crook of the Crown. And we got Lee Marsh coming up on the show. And I told him that we had already people name his cigar to our top 100.
Yes.
And he was just like, that's awesome, man. We appreciate it.
That's what it's about, man. You give congratulations to things that are great. And that stick is a good stick, man. It really is. Congratulations, Lee.
Dude, here's another one that's been on the list.
What?
The Plasentia Alma Fuerte.
Come on, man.
And if you get it in the Figurado,
Come on now.
that's one of my top 10.
Come on now.
I think that's a phenomenal stick.
Come on now.
Then the next one is the Roma Craft Whiskey Rebellion.
Whiskey Rebellion. That's
Great
a go-to.
stick.
That's a go-to.
That is a definite must try.
Yeah, because remember somebody brought one of the members of the Leaf, Matt. They brought them a. Looked at Larry. Forgive me. He got a case bought for him as a gift. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Jason bought them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It took him a year to smoke them. I was like, "You a smart man." He said, "I smoke one every once in a while." I said, "Keep doing that. Keep doing that because you enjoy them for a long time."
And by the time you get to the last one, it's a year old.
It's a year old.
Wow. Okay, the next one on Big Adam's list is the Rockefeller Maduro Lancero.
I haven't had it.
I've had the Rockefeller Maduro,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe I had it in the Robusto or the Toro. I don't recall, and it was a great stick. I've never had the Lancero, so, and I'm not really a huge Lancero guy.
We know that.
So Adam,
but he'll grow.
you could have done better.
He'll grow. He'll grow.
The next one on the list is the Raymond Busso Genesis, the Project. I've had that stick.
Me too.
It's a good stick.
Yeah.
And it's not a very well known, but man,
But when you find
they
it,
just put out quality.
Yeah, when you find it, you'll be happy.
Here's another one on the list. Big Adam's go-to, Viva la Vida torpedo. You know,
it's amazing how many times,
dude. And you think about how damn good their cigars are. Like I told you, I love the torpedo, and then I loved the
Jester.
No, the Club 500. But then I got turned on to that Jester.
You was like,
dude, I would just like hit that Jester time and time again.
Time and time again.
Just, you know,
because there was a time where you was just like, and then you're like, but you haven't come off that Jester in a while. Man.
Yeah, I've been hitting it for
a while.
Yeah, but it's been nice.
It is, and that's the beauty of it. It's
you know
a great
what I
stick.
love about it is the Vitola is perfect size
for you.
Yeah, it's a Robusto, but it's like a 56, and it's like, I think it's only 5 inches long. Maybe a little shorter. It may be 4.75.
That's what she said.
But dude,
it's 4.75.
It is a phenomenal stick.
Come on.
Phenomenal. Anyway, that's going to wrap up Big Adam's part of the list. We're going to go to a quick break here. When we come back, I'll be interviewing Lee Marsh from the Stolen Throne Cigar Company.
Yes, sir.
Great interview.
Yes, sir.
Don't miss it. And then when we come back, we will finish up the series of the Top 100 Must Tries.
Yes, sir.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a quick break. Hey guys, we got a special guest with us today. We do have the one and only Lee Marsh, and he is making some badass cigars. You probably already know of his cigars because they're everywhere on any social media platform you look. You've got the Stolen Throne Cigar Company. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to have you on the show. I'm going to tell you right now, I've only smoked like 3 of your cigars because they're not like everywhere I am. But whenever I get an opportunity to get one, man, I tell you what, man, you guys are knocking it out. That is a great cigar.
I appreciate it, man. Did you have the crook or the call?
The call.
Yeah.
And I tell you, your cigar has made it on the list of, and this is the final episode, but we did a 4-part series of the top 100 must try cigars, and your cigars made the list.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. We're very consumer centric, right? Like I was a cigar nerd. I'm still a cigar nerd. So I care about the consumers. And when people give us accolades, or, when the Crook Robusto got 100 out of 100 and was winning cigars of the year when we were 4 months old, it meant a lot. But, we really just are more in tune with our consumers and our retail partners. The funny story is we were actually in a magazine and I had no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like one of the editors texted me months later. He goes, "Hey man, are you interested in doing this? You were in like our episode last year." I said, "Nope." Thanks.
Right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's awesome that the accolades come, but it's impressive that you're more in tune with the consumers and your retailers because that's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, we were super lucky when we got started, and we sold. In my mind, I always tell the story, and it's 100% true. And I tell it because it's really more of an ode to the consumer and the support that we've received from the cigar community over anything else. We sold our first 10,000 cigars in 3 weeks, and we only had like 4 or 5 accounts.
No way.
Yeah.
That's that's awesome, man.
So it's really important for us to pay attention to our retail partners. We don't, like you said, we're not everywhere, and we probably won't ever be anywhere. We're very big on partnerships and working with the people that took a chance on us, man, because the hardest thing is always getting shelf space and always getting your product in the hands of the consumer. So you got to dance with the one that brung you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, and I'll tell you, when you go that route, I think that you're able to maintain your quality of your cigars. You know what I mean? And when you get to the consumer level, if you were a cigar nerd already, that some companies get away from that when they start growing so big and they're just trying to come out with a huge line of cigars. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names like Gurkha, but you know, I mean, there's a problem there. I mean, how many cigars does Gurkha make?
A lot.
Right. And so for a consumer, I don't know which ones are good and which ones aren't.
Well, and you know, it's unfortunate too with brands like that, because they actually do work with some really, really good people, but they factory hop so much, you don't know what you're getting and where you're getting it from. You know, and it's unfortunate because they do conduct business with some really great people that do some really good stuff, but you never know. And is it worth the crapshoot? And to me, it's not, because, you know, our lifestyle is not inexpensive, man. And, you know, that's the thing when you talk about how great it is for us to be focused on the consumer, really, it's what the consumer deserves.
Right.
You know, our cigars are not inexpensive. I think we're at a fair market value, but at the same time, it's still $10-11 a pop. Right. And so when someone, you know, works their ass off all week and then chooses to buy our cigar over someone else's or with someone else's, I take that really personal. And you're right about the quality. That's always going to be at the forefront of what we do. I get asked all the time, like, what's our goal? Like, how many cigars do you want to make per year? And I basically told them, I don't know yet. And basically we'll grow until I feel like we can't meet our quality standards and production standards at the same time.
Right.
And because the consumer, what I love about it is, you know, I've been smoking for probably about 15 years.
How old are you? Would you start when you were 5?
Yeah, I'm 33. I just turned 33. So,
okay.
So the consumer's gotten way smarter, man, and they know, and they'll call you out on your bullshit, and I expect them to, and they should. You know, so when you hear people brag about your consistency and the quality every time they light it up, that's really what it should be about, the smoker experience.
Hell yeah.
That doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen, because it is a natural product made by human hands, you know. Right. But, you know, the thing is focusing on what matters. Numbers in terms of how big you want to get. Yes, I run a business. I am a businessman. So I have projections. I have, you know, forecasts. But really, it's about maintaining the quality and the standards that we've set up.
So let me ask you this. Let's go back a little bit. You said you've been smoking for 15 years. That puts you right at about 18 years old.
Yeah.
I do Texas math, and that seems about right. So
it's close.
My question is, like, what got you into cigars originally?
You know, it's always like, I always feel like I have like that traditional old school story where, you know, your dad, your uncle, or your grandfather gave you your first cigar. And it was really like that. It's my uncle, you know, he was in the military. So whenever he would come home, you know, I try to spend as much time with him as I could. And, you know, he would bring cigars back and do all this stuff. And so really, you know, you'd have a couple beers with him, underage, of course, you know, it is what it is. Light up a cigar, you know, and that's really what got it. And then you just get, as you travel, you know, I spent a lot of my professional career traveling, right? So
what was your professional career, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I've been all over. So I started in legal compliance, and then I went into, I was in the IT world for a while. And then most recently, before Stolen Throne and right up into the first couple of years of Stolen Throne, I was a consultant, a business analyst. So I traveled all over, and I spent my free time in, you know, just cigar lounges, meeting people, talking to people. And it's really the community that draws you in and makes it fascinating.
Absolutely.
You know, because you can always find a friend or someone to talk to. You know, when my wife and we moved to Virginia, we knew nobody. And that's how I met my business partner in Stolen Throne. You know, I met him through work, and we just started sharing cigars and having beers together. And it kind of took off. Everyone that works with Stolen Throne, we all met through cigars.
Wow, that's cool, man. Well, and like you said, it's all about the community. I travel somewhat with my regular career, and there's nights that I'm at a hotel where I go down and sit on the patio and smoke a cigar, and every time somebody sits down is like, they either have a cigar or I give them a cigar, because they're like, wow, man, that smells so good. What are you smoking? And, you know, usually it's guys that are like not seasoned cigar smokers, but they're just excited about hanging out on the patio with somebody and smoking a cigar. And I mean, that's what I love about the community.
I do too, man. I could talk forever about tobacco. I get really into it in terms of, I don't care what questions you have to ask. Let's talk about it. We all started somewhere. Like I think that's the worst thing that can happen is someone feels like they can't express themselves or talk about cigars just because maybe they've only had a flavored cigar, an infused cigar, whatever the case may be. But we all started somewhere, and how many of us, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. We were all new once.
Yeah, I remember lots of stuff I didn't know. And I was educated and with some guys that were really cool about it, and there's some guys that were real assholes about it. And you know what? I appreciate both levels of education because, and I joke about it because one of the guys that was an asshole was like a 70-year-old man. I mean, it was just his personality.
No, and he only smokes Cubans.
No. But he came in one day and he was like, "Who the hell cut this cigar? You cut the whole damn cap off." And I was like, "Oh, that was me." And he was like, "Let me show you what you're not doing right." He was just an asshole, but he was like in a friendly way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No way. Yeah, absolutely. The funny thing about that is when you get the assholes in the lounge that are trying to like lecture people, they generally have no idea what they're talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so that's usually when you pipe in, you say, yeah, do exactly that. Do the exact opposite of what he just told you to do.
Right. Well, and I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, do you know how much misinformation there is about the cigar industry?
Yeah.
Because people either heard it from a friend that heard it from a friend that didn't know, and it just becomes, that's what it is. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah. And it happens on the manufacturer side too, man. There's so many things that I can't believe that people that actually either manufacture cigars or brand cigars that are manufactured for them, the things that they say, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, and this whole premise of like being a master blender. Yeah, I blend the cigars for Stolen Throne, but there's so much about tobacco that I'll never know, so that whole premise of being a master blender. Yeah, that's never going to be me. I've maybe met like one or two guys that I would consider are on that level, and I'm not one of them.
So let me ask you this, since we're just talking about that, who would you say is a master blender?
Noel for sure.
Okay.
Noel 100%. And it's obviously, I'm biased because he's my mentor,
right?
And, one of our close friends, right? But really just the things that he learns. And what I like about him is through this whole journey, because Stolen Throne really is our journey through tobacco. That's the whole premise of the brand. You had the Crook that was kind of our shot in the dark to be like this, just our way into the world. And then the Call, which was completely different. And the Three Kingdoms will be completely different from that. But he was really good about sharing like mistakes and what went wrong and letting me learn on my own and then telling me why it was a wrong idea. He's really good at teaching and sharing the knowledge too. And, and we've been lucky enough to have farmers along the way, the guys that are actually producing our tobaccos, like Carlos Pareto. Like that guy teaches me so much, and it's unbelievable. Like it's really cool what these folks know. Like I love spending time down in Nicaragua, and I just went back for the first time since COVID in like May, and I'm getting ready to go back in September, hopefully.
Yeah, we've been trying to get you on the show for 2 months, and you've been a busy man.
Dude, it's been nonstop, man. I mean, we're very blessed. We're very lucky, of course, but we spent a lot of time, we get asked why we didn't go to the show. And really what it was is basically, again, focusing on our retail partners. There was a lot of events we had to cancel because of COVID.
Right.
So I hit the road for probably 4 to 6 weeks and just made up every single event we canceled.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, so it was really important for us to kind of make it up to all those folks that supported us because, we came out of nowhere, man. Like no one knew who we were.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean, I started seeing a few pictures here and there on Instagram, and I was like, who are these guys? I didn't know nothing about them. And then I start talking to guys who are fans of Cigar Talk, and they're telling me about these cigars. They're like, man, you got to try them. In fact, my first trying was one of our Patreon members sending me some. He was like, oh, you got to try these cigars, man. And I was like, sweet. And then I tried them, and then I'm like, now I got to find them. So,
that's half the battle. That's the best part.
Hey, and I don't know if you're a bourbon drinker, but
I mean, I'm sitting in front of my 300 bottle collection.
All right. So, I told my wife, you know, she's like, what are you going to do today? And I'm like, I'm going bourbon hunting. And she's
Nice.
like, I don't understand that. And I go, you can't understand that. It's the same as cigars. Cause I love going places that I normally don't get to go to see what cigars they have. Just like when you go to a liquor store, you're hoping to find something that you just don't have in your humidor.
Oh, that's right. That's 100%. My wife, you would think by my bottle collection that I'm an alcoholic. I actually don't drink that much. I might have a pour or two, maybe a week, if that. Generally, the guys come over and drink most of my stuff.
Same
when they're in the lounge. When they're in the lounge here. But yeah, you're 100% right. Because where are you located?
I'm in Abilene, Texas.
Oh man, I tell you what, Abilene, Texas. I tell you what, I don't know what's wrong with you guys down there, but no one drinks Weller Special Reserve down there.
That is true. That is true.
Every time, man. Every time I come down to because we got a blending factory there in Richardson, and every time I come down, I either leave clothes behind or I just bring an empty suitcase and put half gallons of Weller in there and bring them back with me.
Nice.
Yeah, because getting it here in Virginia is impossible.
See, now in Virginia, can you get Eagle Rare?
Yeah, we can get Eagle Rare.
See, we can't get Eagle Rare. I mean, that's the one that we love, and I mean, you can't get it anywhere. I've actually found 2 bottles in the last year.
Next time I'm down, we'll work something out.
Hell yeah, you let me know.
But yeah, no, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, that's the whole part of it is the hunt. And really, the destination marketing of it. We find people that believe in what we're doing, that get behind us, and we can get behind them. And it makes it very easy. Like, business is very easy to conduct with those folks. And it's worked out, man. It was a complete shot in the dark. Like, that was the model that I wanted to go with because, like I said, there was a few people that wanted to give us a shot. And so here we are in our 3rd fiscal year. This is our 3rd year on the market. And, we're in 125 stores in 5 different countries. We're nationwide and international, luckily. So it's all because these folks got behind us and the consumers. I would say, I just did the calculation the other day. It's like 87% of all our new counts were captured by word of mouth.
Wow.
Just consumers.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, we're the traditional, the Waylon Jennings outlaw style. You're from Texas, you get it.
Hey, he's from Littlefield, Texas.
Yeah, we don't advertise. We don't even have a website, man. We run everything from our social media.
I know. To prepare for this interview, I was going to go research you, and there's no website. I was like,
yeah, you can't.
The only thing I can find is it's either Instagram or in person.
No, man, I love it, right? It's one of those underground, if you know things. That's just, to me, I really love the grassroots of the brand. And I'm trying to hold on to it. Like, the guys that work for me, they're giving me a hard time. They're like, we need a website. I'm tired of doing all this swag sales directly. I'm like, So I'm eventually, I will tell you, I'm eventually going to break down. We are working on a website. So, I'm going to lose that little aspect, that little win, that flag I had. But and it's funny because the PCA did the same thing. Aaron emailed me. He's like, hey, man, you still don't have a website? I said, nope.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Well, and I'll tell you, we actually just got rid of our website. And one of the reasons why is because what you see right here, I'm the guy that does everything behind the scenes. And it was just too much for me to maintain, and the value that we were getting from it. I was like, you know what? We've got all these different connections with people, and right now I just don't see the benefit in it. So
the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Part of our thing is being able, I understand, obviously, from a traditional business sense, I understand the usage and the ability and the reach of a website. But to me, when we focus on availability and communicating with our consumers, when you can deal directly with one of us, either myself, Bill, Josh, Kevin, JR, to me, that's a little bit different. It does make for long days. I get a ton of messages every day, thankfully, but I try to spend the guys will tell you, I spend about an hour or two and try to respond to every message we receive.
Nice. Yeah.
So, yeah. And so it's just like our own little thing, man. We're not saying that we're doing it the right way and everyone else is doing it wrong. We're just doing it the way we choose to do it.
You're doing it your way.
Just like you. That's right.
Hey, so let me ask you this. Let's back up just a little bit. How did this all come about? I mean, I know you're a cigar nerd, and every cigar nerd either wants to open their own lounge, have their own cigar, something along those lines. But, you know, that's just a fantasy for most guys. So how did you say, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm going to do this.
Well, you know, you're 100% right. I mean, it's something that it started out as like a pipe dream. You know, we just kicked stuff you always talk about with your friends, like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, man. We're going to, you know, build this garage, or we're going to do this one day, you know, constantly kicking it down the road. And JR's a lot older than me, you know, so when he retired, he basically showed up. He was like, look, you're young. I get it. He's like, but I'm not. He's like, so get off your ass and make this happen. And really, that's what it was. It was just basically that conscious effort to, all right, if we're going to do it, we got to do it, you know?
And I love that, because that was the moment that it was like, you know what? Let's quit talking about it. Get off your ass and let's roll up our sleeves and get after it.
Well, and you're right too, because it's like one of those things where I'm one of those people. If you're going to do it, you're either, what do they say? There's no way of being halfway pregnant. Right. You're either pregnant or you're not. So you got to go full in. So I knew how it would end up being, and it was a lot to take in for sure. Because really, you know, a friend of mine and I were talking about this the other day. Like when you have nothing, taking risks to be better and build something is really a no-brainer. You have nothing to lose. It's on the opposite side when, you know, here I had a new family. I just finished my executive MBA. Like, I had a successful career. Like, I had no real reason to take this massive risk where I was going to sink hundreds of thousands of dollars into a startup company that may not work. Right? Like, people talk about the crook and how great it is, but at the end of the day, you don't know that when you're starting the company, right? Right. So essentially the whole premise is you're making a cigar that you like, because if you can't sell them, you got to smoke 10,000 of them and you just wasted $20,000. You know, so it's like, you know, so, but I knew if we were going to do it, we were going to do it what we interpreted to be the right way.
I lost your video. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. So, you know, that's why here we are 3 years on the market, 5 years into the company. And, you know, we have farms. We have the new factory with Noel, the Rojas cigar factory, and setting that infrastructure, because we didn't want to half-ass it. You know, we wanted to do things our way, but we wanted to make sure that we weren't here today, gone tomorrow, you know? And it's taken a lot, man. It's taken a lot, but the fact that we were able to do what we've been able to do, it's purely up to the consumer and the retailers, and we're super thankful. I mean, I tell people, and it's true, you'll hear the story, but all I wanted to do our first year was sell 20,000 cigars, because that's not a lot, right? That's not a lot. You know, we had the Crook and Robusto and Toro, and basically I was like, okay, if we can sell 20,000, that means we went through 2 production runs, 2 orders. We got a little foothold. You know, we're growing, right? You're planting the seed, and we did over 100,000 cigars in that first year.
Wow.
You know, with just 1 cigar and 2 vitolas. And, you know, it's been a roller coaster ever since.
I think that is so important for new guys coming into the business. I see companies that come out, and the next thing you know, they've got 12 different cigars in a year. And I'm like, man, you can't focus on 12 different cigars. I mean, maybe 15, 20 years from now you can, but not when you start. So the fact that you came out with 1 cigar in the beginning, that's monumental to me. That tells me that you were focused on quality.
Yeah, I wanted to do one thing really, really well, not a bunch of things okay or good, you know? And I can't tell you how many people in the industry that I respect, and they were 100% trying to be helpful, all called me an idiot. They're like, oh, you got to offer like a Connecticut and a Habana. You're going right to a Maduro as your first cigar. I said, it was the best cigar I could make. I mean, when we blended it, I let the tobacco do the talking, and that was the best cigar that I could make at that time. And my thought was, no one knows who I am. Why would I go into a retailer and try to sell them 6 or 7 facings?
Hey, it's a lot easier to get into a cigar shop if you've only got 1.
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
yeah,
that's smart,
man. And we did everything we could, like our displays. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen our retail displays, but basically they can hold both vitolas of each cigar we offer in the same space that one cigar box of somebody else holds.
Nice.
And really, it was the same premise because we wanted to get on the shelf, and we knew that was going to be the most difficult obstacle, because you're going to have retailers, and we've heard it. Like, I like your stuff. I see that other people like your stuff, but I don't like boutique brands because I can't trust you guys to be here in 2 years. And there's really nothing you can do with that as a company that's 3 or 4 months old. All you can do is we're setting ourselves up to be here, but our actions are going to speak louder than me telling you that, so yeah, it was very important for us just to focus on quality cigars and do the best we can with what we had. And then we felt like doing it with one cigar was the best way to do that. And now every other cigar after that follows in line.
Well, let me ask you this. I got 2 questions for you. One, are you guys taking on new accounts at brick and mortars? And the second question I don't want to forget about, so I'm going to ask you now, is how did you meet and form a relationship with Noel? So I'll let you take the first question first.
So your first question, yes, we are. We just... we kind of slowed down onboarding because of COVID. So COVID, like everybody else, just killed us logistically, and what we wanted to do is, as we started, because luckily our production never stopped, but getting things into the country became super, super difficult. So we had huge back orders that we were able to clear out and kind of catch back up. And we wanted to, repay our retailers for being so patient. So we kind of slowed it down as we were getting our orders, because our inventory moves so quickly, man. Like, on a normal order, an account probably has a shot at getting 1, maybe 2 orders before we're sold out. So because we had been out for so long, we wanted to give those retailers a chance to kind of move product a couple times. So we are through that period. We are taking new accounts now. We are starting to onboard as things get back to a little bit more normal. I mean, right now, the biggest thing is bands. Getting bands is super difficult. Luckily, we make our own boxes, so that's not an issue for us. But, logistically, it's still trying to figure out what normal looks like. But yeah, we are taking new accounts, and we've been adding them as quick as we can. Yeah, so, and to answer your second question, it's funny because the cigar industry it seems a lot bigger than it really is. Like, the majority of people know everybody, and from traveling around, from having conversations with Island Jim in Pittsburgh. My wife's from Pittsburgh, so I spent quite a bit of time at the Leaf and Bean when I'm up visiting the in-laws. And he was like, man, you're a nerd. You're a cigar nerd. You need to work with someone that's passionate about it as much as you are. And, I had been friends with Chris and Kyle from Ezra for a long time, so back in like 2014, probably. And I liked the stuff he was doing for them. I liked his early stuff with Guayacán and Sabor de Estelí. And really, that on top of the fact is, when we were making cigars, I wanted to control the blending. I wanted to control tobacco selection, and because if we were going to fail, it was going to be because of our choices.
Gotcha. I
didn't want to be like, well, Rob gave me this cigar, so that's why it didn't work out. No, like that's bullshit. Like, that, basically, if we couldn't cut it, it was because we couldn't cut it. And he was really one of the only ones. We talked to a lot of folks. There's a lot of people that'll take your money and give you a cigar, but he was one of the only people that'll would let me do my own thing. And I really appreciated that about him, and it just kind of worked. We just kind of worked together. Even now, years later, we still constantly talk about ideas and bounce stuff off each other. And what do you think of this? Or, so it's always funny because he and I have different ways of approaches to blending. And I can tell people, I always know when I'm on the right track of where I want to be, if he hates the cigar that I'm blending because it's too strong.
Well,
because he takes a lot of time to like show me like traditional ways, like here's how you should approach a blend, blah blah blah. And I listen and I take it in, and I do learn it, but then I do something exact opposite, and he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I mean, and there's something to be said about creating your own style.
That's right.
So, I mean, you want to learn what you can learn from someone who you consider to be a master blender, but at the same time, you don't want to replicate exactly what they do.
Sure, you want to do your own thing.
Right.
And for me, you know, we always had that question, like, what's your approach to blending? And really, because we're a smaller guy, it's really based off availability. Like, yeah, we're now producing our own tobacco, which is nice. But really, you know, I don't want to become myopic. I never go in and say, I want to make a Habano. I want to make a Connecticut. Like, I never do that because I just feel like the opportunity cost is too great. Like, what am I missing out on because I'm so stuck on doing this one thing?
Right.
And to be honest with you, I'm a huge Habano guy, and we don't have a regular production Habano yet.
That's the next one. I am too, and I love a Habano. And you know, I used to be a huge Maduro guy, and I think that the natural progression for cigar nerds is to get on Maduros, full-bodied, full strength, and you're cool as hell because you smoke a 6x60 Gordo, and then once you smoke cigars for years, you start reeling it back in and go, what am I missing with all these other cigars? And then you take the real journey. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a bourbon journey.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you were, you know, like bourbon, you stay away from your high proofers at first, you know, and then you don't want to be burnt, you know. Yeah, but it's like the prime example with the Call. I love it. I'm smoking a Call Corona right now. I'm not the biggest Sumatra fan, but we found this Ecuadorian Sumatra, and it was amazing. It was perfect. The blend worked together with what we were using and what we were packing into the blend. It was excellent.
And have you smoked that with the Sumatran coffee?
I haven't.
Oh, I haven't. You owe it to yourself because, dude, they just marry up. I mean, they are. Really? It's so nice.
I'll have to check that out for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's all a journey, man. Like, that's the thing. It's like whatever craft or trade, like, you would expect to be different 10 years down the road, whether that's bourbon, you know, writing songs, smoking, making cigars. Like, you want that journey. And to me, I'd like to share that with our consumer as we're going. Like, everything we do, all our limiteds is just our creative process delivered in a different way.
Nice.
You know?
So what do you plan on doing for the next 5 years?
Hopefully not die from all this work. And then.
Or COVID.
or COVID. Just continue to push the creative bounds of what we can achieve, man. I mean, our infrastructure, everything Noel's doing and we're doing with Noel, we're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and controlling that process to maintain the quality and the standards that we've kind of been known for, and just pushing the limits of creativity. You know, we have the Three Kingdoms coming out this summer as soon as pretty much the cigars are done. We just got the bands done, so they should be turning and burning. In a couple of weeks, they'll be on market. And then, you know, focusing on all of our limited programs that we've been kind of holding back on just because of, you know, supply and demand of, you know, the extra stuff you need to kind of make the process go. And then we'll see where it goes. Take it day by day. We're very flexible. You know, we stay on our toes as much as we can.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's change directions here for a minute, because we have a, like, possible tormentor in the cigar industry lurking over our heads in the FDA.
Right.
How do you plan for what is going on with the FDA? I mean, like right now, they're kind of like sitting back and not really causing a lot of trouble, but they could at any time.
You really can't, man. And, you know, like, being from a legal compliance standpoint, all you can really do is make sure that you're in compliance at the moment. You know, there's a million reasons not to do stuff, right? And for me, if you talk to anyone that knows me on a personal level, I'm not really good at being told I can't do something. So, you know, it's one of those things, like, I'm not that guy that's going to just stop because of what might happen.
Right.
And, you know, I'm very pro industry, so I've helped a lot of other companies get their stuff together as well, because we were prepared to follow the paperwork. And really what a lot of people don't see is that, you know, we founded the company in 2018, sorry. And we spent the majority of those first 2 years just planning our legal approach, you know, because we didn't hit the market until May of 19. So, you know, you just stay flexible. You keep your ear to the ground. You know, we're lucky to have a great resource and network of a legal counsel, as well as my background and JR's background with contracts and compliance. So we're ready for whatever comes our way. We'll do whatever we have to do.
All right. Well, I was going to say, because when you guys got started in the industry, I mean, that was a big concern. So, I mean, just the fact that you started the company when you did, it's like, that was ballsy.
Yeah, we're dumb. No. Yeah. No. So it was, like I said, we're not one of those people where just because you're not going to take a shot just because something might happen. Like you're not going to drive your truck because someone might hit you.
Right.
You can't live your life that way.
Well, I would also guess, because you come from like a law background and compliance, that there's always going to be loopholes.
Well, and yeah, exactly. There's not always, it's not necessarily loopholes, but it's understanding that sometimes people try to add on to what's actually written, and what's written is law, right? So if it's written one way that gives you an avenue to do something else, you do that something else, and you let them adjust to it, But that was a huge part of it. Like, okay, well, what are we going to do about this? So we had different avenues. We had basically 3 little emergency plans. Do we go A, B, or C if we have to?
Gotcha.
And that'll be the same going forward. We'll be prepared no matter what happens.
Well, our local shop is The Leaf, and a good friend of mine bought it from the owner back in 2018. And so, I mean, to me, that was also, because it was not cheap. It was a lot of money to put up to buy a cigar shop. And to buy a cigar shop in the midst of all the FDA rulings and who knows where that's going to go, I was like, that's a passionate guy right there, because he's
for
saying,
sure.
You know what? I'm going to open a shop. And since then, he's moved to a new location and made it 10 times better than it was before.
Yeah, I mean, he's even more ballsy than me, because he's basically banking on guys like me and other manufacturers doing what's necessary to stay in business.
Absolutely.
Right?
And we live in a town where you're not allowed to smoke indoors in any business except for cigar shops. And that could change at any time, because the political mindset in this town is completely nutso when it comes to smoking.
Yeah. It's funny when you get out of the country and you go to like, Austria or Switzerland, and you can smoke wherever you want. It's a completely different experience. You get that shock and awe of, wait, I can smoke here.
That would be awesome. I've never experienced that.
Yeah, but even the first time I went to Texas when we were starting the company, like in Dallas, there were places where they're like, yeah, smoking's at the front, non-smoking's at the front, smoking's in the back, and there's like no divider. You're just you're just sitting like one table over. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, but it's changed in Texas even, because like I was down in Houston a while back, and I was like, okay, you got to find a place that allows smoking. And I would find a place finally that allowed smoking, and I would go in, I sat at the bar, I pulled out a cigar, and the bartender was like, you're not going to light that up in here, are you? And I was like, well, yeah, other people are smoking. And he's like, you can't smoke cigars in here. You can smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And I was like, are you serious? And so I had to go outside on the patio and smoke. And I was just like boggled that cigarette smoking was allowed and cigars were not.
Yeah, that bends my brain. I've actually left a couple of establishments because they've said stuff like that. Like, this guy can smoke his Marlboro Reds, but I can't. Yeah, all right, I'm out.
You can smoke your Cools over here, but you can't smoke your cigars over there.
That's right. So we're lucky in Virginia. You can still smoke it, and there's still some places where you can smoke indoors. There's a couple restaurant bars that you can still smoke, and really the rule is as long as you have your separate access, and it's completely separate from the non-smoking side of it. So that's pretty nice. But everything's always changing. Everything's very fluid.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it was nice during COVID because I have a cigar lounge here in the house, so I was ready for that hermit lifestyle for a while.
Hey, you know
but
what?
It is nice to get out.
It was nice, and it conditioned you to enjoy being able to have a smoke in your own lounge, because I have the same. And whenever COVID was kind of like lifted, it took me a little while to get used to going back to the lounge. You know what I mean? It was like,
it does. Yeah, you got that weird kind of like anxiety while you're in there.
Well, and it's like, I got to drive. I don't want to drive.
Yeah.
I just want to go smoke. So
no, the good part for me was I wanted to see other people, because even now, like,
well, see, I was having people over, so my lounge was full.
Yeah, so we have a little girl, so we kept it really small. Like, basically, the guys in the company will come over and smoke here and stuff. But really, once it started to lift up and started opening up the first go around, it was nice just to get out and go see other people, get out of the house for a second. You know?
Yeah, and for us, what was so incredible was while COVID was at its max, is whenever Jay moved the Leaf from location to a different location. So when we came out of it, we had a whole new lounge. And I mean, a
brand new experience waiting for you.
Yeah. And he's knocked it out of the park. Hats off to him. And I'm going to talk to him about your cigars in the very near future.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get him in touch with Phil. He's our Southern manager there. So yeah, well, he's right there in San Antonio, so we can work it out.
Well, my last question, well, actually I have two. But I'll start with the second question. Tell everybody where they can find connection with Stolen Throne Cigars.
We're super active and responsive on Facebook and Instagram. Give us a follow. Reach out to us. All your brick and mortars, we're nationwide. If you need help finding a brick and mortar, we're also available on cigarfederation.com. They're our official online retailer. We work with Luxury Cigar Club. We're part of their club. Whatever you need, just reach out to us. We'll get you hooked up.
Very nice. And then my last question is, when are you going to be in Texas? We need to hang out and smoke, brother.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Actually, it's funny you say that. I've been getting harassed pretty frequently by the folks down there. I need to get back. I was going pretty frequently. And then this last trip to Nicaragua, Noel stayed in Nicaragua. But I will be back to Texas probably in the next month or so.
Okay.
And I'll definitely hit you up. We can hang out.
Yeah, let me know. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for the time. Thanks for coming on and just being yourself. We appreciate the transparency and just seeing who you are behind the brand, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me, Rob, man. You be safe, all right?
All right, man. Take care and have a great weekend. Hey, guys. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Lee. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on, visit with us. What a great story.
Yes, sir.
I love the backstories when I know that there's a cigar brand.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of good cigars out there.
Most definitely.
And I want to have a connection in one way or another with the backstory of a cigar.
Gotcha. I understand that totally. Because you don't want somebody coming born into billions of dollars and then make their own cigar line. You're like,
I mean, if they had the real passion and that's what they wanted to do,
okay,
yeah. But I mean, it's about the person,
yeah,
and what they're desiring, why they did it.
That's what I loved about your boy from Roma Craft. When he told us he came from the project in Oklahoma, eating fried bologna sandwiches. I was like, bruh,
dude, let me ask you something. Speaking of bologna, you've had fried bologna sandwiches.
Most definitely.
Did you cut?
Yeah, make it look like Pac-Man.
I didn't do that.
Why not? You just let it dome up?
I did. Well, I would put like another pan on top of it and just let it.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
had a bacon press before there was bacon press.
See, we cut our bologna before you put it in because it came in the tube with the red.
So you actually sliced it?
I sliced it. So it'd be about a 1/4 inch thick.
Wow.
And you put that sucker in there and it. You can't. The knife that you cut it off the slab with.
See, y'all were fancy.
We weren't fancy.
We had Oscar Mayer.
Dude, that's fancy. I grew up off government cheese, which is the first.
My grandmother had government cheese.
We had government cheese,
and she
cereal,
always had government cheese.
The powdered milk, the beans, the rice.
I didn't have the powder. Well, I don't know if I had powdered milk or not. I don't know.
You didn't know what it was. It was milk.
We could have had powdered milk. I know we had the cheese.
Yeah, dude. I grew up on that stuff, man. And it was like, I got healthy off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't laugh, but when I was coaching football in the early 2000s in high school, we couldn't do 3-a-days. Statutorily, we couldn't do 3-a-days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the most you could do was a 2-a-day practice, and they only allowed you to do it for 2 weeks. when I grew up, we did 3-a-days for the first month of practice during the summer.
Yeah, we just did 2-a-days.
We did 3.
We were 2 and 8.
Oh,
I think maybe we did 1-a-days. I don't know.
just show up. Just show up. But then, it's like we grew up under those, they say now, harsh realities.
Right.
But it really wasn't harsh to us. It was just every day.
It was
every
no
day.
different than what we did when we weren't at school because we played all
the
day.
time. You got on your bike, your mama kicked you out the house.
Dude,
right after the cartoons went off at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
You were gone all day, and you might be playing football, baseball, riding bicycles,
running.
Any kind of basketball. Anything that was competitive.
And you drank water out of the water hose. You let it run for a few minutes because you had to get the dirt off of there, but you still put it in your mouth.
And you didn't want to be drinking the hose that had been sitting out at 107 degree weather.
Because you had to let that cool off a little bit. You had to let that stuff run through there a little while. But and we grew to be healthy, man. Today, it's like they got energy drinks and everything else, and then they can't do more than a 2-a-day for 2 weeks.
I couldn't do a 1-a-day now.
Dude, I couldn't be a coach now. I'm telling you. You get older and you understand. I understood why the coaches hung around their trucks.
I'm so out of shape, I could barely do Stephen Hawking.
And bro, this dude said Stephen Hawking. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so glad you didn't have it. You did take that picture over there on it.
Sorry.
We are not going to be able to. We can't broadcast anywhere. It's like, I heard of this cigar talk show. Where is it? Nowhere.
Making fun of that dude.
Of everybody. But man, it's a different world now. It's a different world.
Dude, it is, I don't know if it's because of our age or if it's really how fast the world is progressing. Like, I feel like evolution is in warp speed right now.
Evolution is in warp speed.
It is.
I don't know. I really don't.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm older.
Yeah.
And I see it.
Yeah, you see it differently.
Back when I was, in my 20s, I didn't see nothing except for what was right in front of me.
Yeah. Because that was all life was.
What's
happening right now?
What am I doing tonight?
Yep. What's happening right now?
I don't know. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the interview with Lee.
Yeah.
We are going to jump right into finishing off the top 100 must tries.
100.
So let's just bounce them back and forth.
All right.
I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you two right off the gate.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump off with.
No. I'm giving you two right now.
Oh, you're going to give me two. Okay.
You know what I said? I'm giving you two.
I didn't know if you were going to let me do two or you were giving two.
No, I'm giving two.
I got you. Go ahead.
So right out of the gate, I'm going to go with the Project 40 Natural
Good
and
stick.
Maduro.
Good stick.
Because if you haven't tried those are great sticks.
Good sticks.
They really are. And the thing about it is, I don't even know which one I like more. Do I like the natural more or do I like the Maduro more? Because they are so different, but yet they're both so good.
That's a good issue to have.
Absolutely. Because the natural, I love in the morning with coffee.
Yeah.
And then for me, the Maduro is a great afternoon, late evening stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think, and so if you haven't tried that one, I think that's definitely a must try. And I mean, it's under $7.
Can't beat it.
So
can't beat it.
It's like a sore pecker. You just can't beat it.
There we go again. PG.
Anyway.
We tried to regain the PG, and he just kicked it out the window.
Kicked him in the ding ding.
Again. He made sure it stayed outside.
All right, what you got?
You said two. Oh, those two were the two. Okay. I thought you was like a 1 and a 1A. So I'm going to go the Padron Reserve Maduro 10th anniversary.
Oh, great stick. Great stick.
And
in fact, I was at the shop earlier today, and I was smoking with Nathan and Gary and Gene.
Uh-huh.
And Gene was smoking the 25th or the 20th. One of those two. The 20th anniversary Maduro. Great stick. Great stick. And then Gary was smoking a Perdomo.
Wow.
And I think he was smoking
Ponytail girl?
Yeah, because there's no diggers, and he was smoking one of the Perdomos.
Okay.
And I don't recall which one it was. I know it was a Maduro, but I don't remember which Vitola or series it was.
My next one is going to be Fine and Rare 2015.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, then I'm going to bounce right back at you with an Alec Bradley Rare and Fine. No, Fine and Rare 2019.
I knew you was going to go there.
That was already on my list. If you haven't tried that cigar, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't smoked cigars for more than a year, you're probably not going to get what it is. But the more experience you get, you enjoy the excellence and refinement of a quality fine stick.
Oh, yes.
And to me, that's also a top 10 right there.
Yes, sir.
That's a top 10 for me.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what else you got?
Next two. It's hard to find, but it's coming back. And y'all know how much I love this. CAO Amazon Basin.
Did you say it's coming back?
Yes.
I did not hear that.
Yes.
Really?
I can't wait.
So I guess they got another batch of Brazilian tobacco.
I'm so thankful.
That is awesome.
I'm so thankful.
Well, and my next one is also a CAO.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
The V21. Dude, Larry, is that what you're smoking tonight?
He said that's what he was smoking tonight.
And how was it?
It was good.
Larry says it was good. So, and, to me, like there's a few CAOs I don't care for.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and they're the bottom tier cigars in my perspective.
Gotcha.
But the good cigars they make are phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And
that
so
Amazon Basin is phenomenal.
Absolutely. All right, what do you got next?
Sin Compromiso.
Very nice. Very nice. You can't
hear me drop the mic?
I did see that. So the Dunbarton Tobacco Company makes really good sticks. And the thing about it is you're talking to Steve Zaka.
Yes.
And his philosophy on making cigars is he makes what he wants to smoke.
Yes. Yes.
He's not trying to go outside of what he likes to try to be snabby.
Snappy.
Snappy.
LeBuckin.
I was going to say snappy versus
snazzy.
Snazzy, and it was snabby. So anyway, yeah, I'm impressed with just about everything Zaka does.
Gotcha.
My next one on the list is going to be, and this is for the more experienced cigar smokers.
Okay.
If you haven't tried one, I highly recommend it. The McAuliffe Reserva.
Hey.
I mean,
it
is a phenomenal stick that gets.
Talk to me.
It doesn't get smoked by me as often as I would enjoy, just because it's a little hefty on my wallet.
Yeah.
But for $42, it's a value cigar because when you smoke it, you get the full.
Yes, sir.
What I consider to be like the traditional meaning of a cigar. You know what I mean? It hits on all cylinders. And it's something that's very fine.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, what do you got?
Another CAO.
Okay. Well, let me see. You're going to go with the flathead.
Nope.
Okay, what?
Brasilia.
You really? I have not smoked that cigar in a year.
Dude. Revisit.
I will revisit. I've had problems with that cigar. And when I say problems, it was construction.
I'm glad I didn't have your problems. I haven't had your problems ever with that stick. It is a great stick. The price point is 100%. The price point is 100%. The price point is 100%. You get what you pay for.
And what more than you pay for. I think it's what, about $8?
$8.
Yeah. And that's cheap.
Come on, man. And I can't say anything else about it.
I agree. I mean, I'll revisit that one.
Thank you.
And that's what the list is for.
Yes, sir.
It's cigars that you should try. So my next one on the list is going to be a Tatuaje Fausto. I recently have been introduced to that stick. It's been one that I've really enjoyed. I recently got a 6x48 Vitola on it. It's the something Churchill.
Okay.
Maybe it's the half Churchill or something. I don't know. But phenomenal stick.
Gotcha.
What else you got?
Roma Craft, Baka Bantu.
You know, that's one cigar I have not visited as much as I'd like, just because it's not on the shelf.
Yeah.
But the Baka, the times I've smoked it, is a very rich tobacco.
Yes.
It is like when you smoke it, you're like,
yes.
I don't even know what the flavor profile is, except very like exquisite tobacco. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. And as much as people saw me smoking it just this year, you can understand why. The price point again, the quality, that ride that you take with it, even the Jenga, Jengi, whichever one, however you want to pronounce it. Roma Craft makes a great Baka series. That's all I got to say.
They really do.
Yes.
And I like all the Vitolas that comes in.
Yes.
So here's one that's going to throw you for a curve.
Talk to me.
The Martinez, we just got them at the shop. Did you know Jay got the Martinez?
No.
And I think I'm going to have to look at my damn picture to make sure I tell you which one it is correctly. But, excuse me. This is the Flatiron Maduro. You see it right there?
Yeah, I haven't had that one.
Let me tell you what. You need to have it in the very near future. But let me tell you something that caught me off guard because I haven't smoked it in probably a year.
Uh-huh.
It's full strength. You want to eat something before you smoke it.
Okay. I'm listening.
Like for me, it was fine, but I noticed it. But for a regular guy, it's full strength and then some.
So you got to get prepared for it.
I would recommend going after lunch or after dinner for one. What do you got next?
Next is one that I love. I picked up a couple before I went to Bandera. The Definition Cameroon.
Nice.
You know how I love that
That Cameroon is so oily smooth.
Ooh. It's just not a good stick. It's a beautiful stick.
It really is.
It's a beautiful stick. The Viatola, the ribbon instead of a band. I haven't had one where it wasn't a stack of dimes on there. The construction, the flavor profile, that Cameroon, man, it's just like, it's something about that.
Well, let me tell you my next one. When I say must try,
Talk to me.
I'm echoing it over and over in your ear on this one. Must try.
Try.
The Tabanero Maduro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that's in the running for my cigar of the year. It is. And I was talking to Zeka the other day, and he ordered some Tabanero cigars. And I was talking about the quality of the construction, the blend, the smoke, the whole experience.
Okay.
And he said, I cannot disagree with anything you said. I feel like Tabanero is the hidden gem cigar of the nation this year that I was fortunate enough and lucky enough to come across.
Yeah, I'll take that walk with you.
Dude,
I will.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, because Tabanero, that stick you just spoke on, I remember lighting it, and when I got halfway through the first third, I looked at it, I was like, damn.
Yeah,
this is a good stick,
right? And it's like it's hunting cigars and bourbon is something that I enjoy doing, and a lot of times when you go on the hunt, you find something good.
Yeah, you find some gems.
But I'm saying you find some good average stuff. Yeah. When I found Tabanero,
because you told me,
I was blown away.
Yeah, you told me.
I was like, and I'm going to tell you right now, I try a lot of new cigars because people send me stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I smoke it once and then that's it.
Yeah.
And they were not bad, but they weren't special.
Uh-huh.
Tabanero
was special.
Lit me up. I was like, holy shit.
Got you.
So anyway.
My next one's staying in the Cameroon. New World Cameroon Series.
Dude, if you haven't, and you know what? That was not on my list just because I have high expectations that if you listen to this show, you've had it. But if you have not had it, that's a must-try cigar.
Got to try it.
Yeah, it
You
really
have
is.
to try it.
Because it, especially on a Saturday morning with coffee, dude, that's my relaxation stick right there.
I did 2 Saturdays in a row where we met up there. I had to have that stick with that coffee because the way it paired, it was like, this is a wake up.
And it's such a mellow stick. It's like, it's not light, it's mellow.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is. Hats off to AJ on that one. And that's like a under $8 stick. Crazy. So my next one is going to be the Perdomo ESV Maduro.
Did you drop your mic?
That's a great stick.
Mic,
and to me, that's another stick. And that's going to be in the $12 range. But for what you get for $12, it is definitely worth it. And it is such deeply rich tobacco that like you like picture yourself in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
It's like I can see.
I've never been there, but I
I
know what you're talking about.
That's one of those cigars that takes me where
Yes.
it's made.
Calgon, take me away.
Right. What's the next one?
Espinosa Cigars, Comfortably Numb.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Remember when we smoked them on the show, bro? Remember that night?
About a year ago.
Yes. I went home, and a friend of mine, Sean, blessed me with another one. I was like, I know that stick. He's like, what you know about this stick? I said, I'll let you know when I said, because if it's still the same, and I got the same notes, the same construction, the first and second, I still got that little bit of mild pepper. But bruh, the Saxon, it was like how we love our sticks. I know what it was. It's the same thing again.
Right.
It's the same thing again. So it didn't disappoint me. It kept me on that ride. The consistency. That's the word I was looking for. The consistency.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So this one is probably a no-brainer to most. But if you don't know, you just have never heard of it or seen it. But the Crowned Heads Yellow Rose. Dude, the Yellow Rose Texas, whatever you want to call it, it's a beautiful Maduro with a yellow ribbon around the foot, and that's it.
She said, and that's it.
And they don't need anything else on that stick. That is a quality stick that if you haven't had, and it is a full body, full strength cigar, but it is very smooth at the same time. And that's when I smoke a strong cigar, that's what I'm looking for. I want something that I get the strength, but I also want it smooth.
It's that butt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My next one was a gift. I got 4 of these as gifts throughout a year. It's a McAuliffe cigar, the Leyenda No. 2.
Oh, great smoke. Great smoke. I've been smoking a lot of the number 1s, and really the number 1 is just like this long.
Yes.
And the thing about it is I got to have time
to smoke it.
But great stick. My next one, and I've talked about this cigar in the past, but if you haven't had it, you owe it to yourself to try it. And it's the Island Gem.
You took it off my list.
The Island Gem
You took
is
it off my list.
a cigar that you remember when you got to the studio tonight? You remember what music was playing?
Yes.
And you come in, and after you heard the music, you started walking a certain way because you get that swag going. That's what happens when you smoke the Island Gem. It's a mindset. Are you with me on that?
I'm 100% with you on that. And I'm going to pop one on you. And my thing is, you have progressed in your palate enough to appreciate a few of these. Not many, a few. You aggressively spoke that you hated them from the beginning. But in this...
I hope you're not going to say Gurkha because I'm still not a fan.
No. This one is...
I brought Gurkha up on the interview.
No. Monte Cristo 100 Days. That was the one I bought I bought
Oh,
casing came
that
in
was
the book.
nice.
See?
That was nice. And you know what? I still have fun joking around about Monte Cristo, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm at the point now where I've smoked enough Monte Cristos that I can say they make some good
They make
sticks.
some good sticks. Everybody has those bad sticks.
Right.
But you can't just down the entire maker because of a few bad sticks. There are some in there that you will like because everybody doesn't like everything.
Well, let me tell you this, okay? The one experience I had with Monte Cristo that I did not like was I smoked like the classic Connecticut.
Okay.
And it was so freaking light, I couldn't even tell I was
You
smoking.
thought you were smoking a Salem?
No, I thought
Even
I was
worse than
just puffing imaginarily. So, but here's the thing. It wasn't bad construction. It wasn't bad quality. It was just too light for me.
Yeah.
And so I can't say that I've ever had an issue with the Monte Cristo as far as construction.
No.
And so, you know.
Just that one just wasn't
Right.
for you.
And I will say this. I'll go ahead and add a Monte Cristo to the must try.
Uh-oh.
The Maduro Espada with the AJ Fernandez. I think that is a
knew it.
great stick.
You know, for a minute there, I was just like, I was going broke. Nose, man. I'd like case. I mean, dude, I was
Because they're
like,
not cheap sticks.
They're not.
I mean, I
but-
think they're like $14.
But it's a great
And
stick.
it is a great
It's
stick.
a great stick.
It's one of those sticks that, like, I'm not going to buy all the time.
Mhm.
But when I want something that's going to be something different, but at the same time be quality,
Uh-huh.
it's a great stick.
It's a great stick.
It's almost like a reward stick.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you know what? Fuck it, I deserve it.
And here it is. And here it is. My next one is one that people know. If they know me, they know I love a few sticks, and this is one of them. And I even got Sean to smoke one, and he said that he liked it. The punch egg roll.
You know, I saw Sean post a picture of the
Mhm.
egg roll not long ago.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? I can't argue with that pick. It's not a go-to for me in any form or fashion, but it's a good stick. I enjoy it when I smoke it.
It's my go-to at punch.
You know what? It's a good stick. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap up this year's 100 must tries.
Must try.
We're going to try to do it at least once a year because there's so many good sticks out there.
And we continually, like you said, he goes on that hunt. And
Bourbon hunting and cigar hunting.
Cigar hunt, and we find
Gems.
and people don't know about them. We didn't know about them
Right.
until you went out and you actually said, "Okay, I'm not gonna go to this section right now. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna see what's here that will spark my eye." And then you're like, "Why was I not looking at this before?" Because this is beautiful. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So, man, hey, bruh.
I mean, every year we come across so many great sticks that we didn't know about. You know what? We should
Talk to me.
maybe next year instead of the top 100 must tries, we're going to do
Newbies?
like the top 30 hidden gems.
In gems. I can do that.
You know what I
I
mean?
can do that.
Because a lot of this list should not be hidden gems. It should be readily available.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend you try them if you haven't.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time,
Keep smoking.
boom.